my first question is to General Bakshi. General Bakshi, this matter has not gone deeply analysed in the course of the election results, but we have two people who have been elected to the Lok Sabha. One is called Amritpal. He's an absolute out-and-out terrorist. He was building a private army. He was on the run. He supports Bhindranwale. Many people see him as the new Bhindranwale. He's presently in Dibrugarh jail under the National Security Act. Entire army, paramilitary forces had to have a manhunt to arrest this man when he went absconding. He has a suspicious background. He came from Dubai. He is funded externally. And he does not recognize India, that is Bharat. He said there is no such country. And it is right of me to pick up arms and build an army to wage war on India. Now this man goes to jail, opportunistically fights an election and gets elected. How big a threat is that, General Bakshi?
Arnab, we are now somehow excelling in scoring self-goals.
In 2 minutes.
Here is a man charged with sedition, waging war against the state.
Yeah.
This man, as you very rightly pointed out, was in Dubai. He had shaved off. He had cut his hair, which is against the tenets of the faith. He was picked up by the ISI for his resemblance with Bhindranwale, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. He was picked up, trained, parachuted into the Punjab, and overnight he becomes a saint asking for the banning of drugs. He picks up a very popular, touchy subject in Punjab, the banning of drugs, the war against drugs, etc. And suddenly he comes into his true lights, he attacks a police station, and then there is the charade of a manhunt for this man for about a month plus. He is dangerous. How can you permit this man to stand for election? That is a cardinal error. We ask him to take oath in that jail. If he does not, he is supposed to take the oath to defend the integrity, sovereignty of India. He does not annul his election straight away. It is very easy to influence elections, Arnab. As you very rightly yourself pointed out, there has been influence in these elections. Please. There was an Israeli company involved. Please see the content of YouTube. I have been watching it for the last 1 month. I have been horrified. See the way bulk, messaging was being done. Messages were being purchased on X, formerly Twitter. You think it is not easy to get this kind of a man elected with this kind of a backdrop of interference? You are trying to give legitimacy to a terrorist. I mean, period.
So there's...
And the other man, you and I know him well, Arnab.
Of course we do, General Bakshi.
He's an out-and-out terrorist supporter.
Of course I do. Of course
that man
we do.
Who's been elected from Baramulla.
No, we do, General Bakshi, but I am looking at a bigger trend here today. And Harish Salve is joining us from London. And we are here to talk about the elections and a worrying trend that has emerged. Now, Harish Salve, suppose tomorrow there are assembly elections in Punjab or any other state. And if those who support terrorism and are supporters of Bhindranwale get elected either as independents or members of a political party and take over the state, then they can also take over the security forces, the police apparatus and everything around the state. Incident 1. Incident 2, Engineer Rashid, who has been named along with Pakistani terrorists, is in jail, wins the elections against Omar Abdullah. 2 known anti-nationals, one a terrorist supporter, one a terrorist, claim to swear by the constitution and get elected. And this gives people ideas. Kangana Ranaut walks through Chandigarh airport, a CISF lady security personnel slaps her saying, I don't agree with your views on the farmers' protest. This is a very concerning trend. I'm not sure if people accused of grave acts of terrorism could have been elected, for example, to the House of Commons in the United Kingdom. How do you view it, Mr. Salve?
Arnab, it is such a blot on what has otherwise been such a wonderful demonstration of democracy. what, 630 million votes cast. And counting down, I think, all the unnecessary fears about the institutions being compromised and the system being compromised, allayed. We have a government, we have an opposition in place, and so on. So this is such a blot on that entire process. And I think whatever may be the differences between the political parties, this is one issue on which they have to put their heads together. This man, I believe, is the Sikh MP to be, is the son of one of the assassins of Mrs. Gandhi. I mean, the Congress will fully be on board on this. They will have serious concerns about how a person like him even got into mainstream politics. I'm sure the BJP will have its concerns. I'm sure all right-thinking people will have their concerns. And I think all of them need to put their heads together and find out what is going on in Punjab. Why, how is it that a person like him got any traction with such a fine people? And you know, this is what happens. And I'm sorry, I don't like taking political positions. But my position on the farm laws was very clear. I thought the implications of the farm laws were misrepresented. That happens in politics, but it was misrepresented. But the trouble is when you whip up a frenzy, the poor farmers of Punjab feel alienated. And that has very unfortunately reflected itself on that unfortunate incident with our new young MP. So I think all these political parties, now that the war of elections is over, now it's time for everybody to sit down and say, okay, you are in government, we are in opposition, but this is something which concerns India. It doesn't concern anybody's politics.